Hi there, I hope you're doing well. So, my name is Michelle, and I'm a mum of two wonderful kids called Rebecca and Matthew. My son has autism and global development, and I basically I'm coming back to coaching. 2007, I became a coach. I done a diploma. It was kind of like online, but it wasn't. Anyway, I got my diploma. I coached, some people, and then I went into what I absolutely love, and that was care work. It was support work. It was working with kids and young people with autism, and I use like my coaching skills around kind of like the people who I was working with and that. So, but now I'm really happy to say that um, yeah, I just want to get back into what I really love doing. That's helping people. Is helping people, but really helping parents to understand and to not just understand their like a daughter or like son, but also about the whole balance as well. Because as parents and that of a child with autism and then a child without autism, there can be a like imbalance sometimes, and that can affect people, around you as well. So for example, having a child with autism can affect, what was it, brothers, sisters, parents, grandparents, and that. And and as a mum, what was it, you are connected to, what was it, your child and that. And when I first saw mine, I was in love. Um, and I don't see, just because my son doesn't, I say, talk, he's non-verbal. Um, and you will get to know, what was it? I'm not being sarcastic when I say that, but just because a person doesn't talk doesn't mean that they don't have anything to say. And I get quite passionate about this because I had a speech impairment when I was younger, and when I was Matthew's age, age 5, I didn't talk until I was nearly 5 anyway. I had some words, but I wasn't like my daughter. I wasn't, like a chatterbox. I was, they would call it now, selective mute. So basically, I would only talk if I really had something to say. Yeah. And people, children and teenagers and like adults can be like this. So like with my son with autism, he's, yeah. So what? That's a tiny bit of him, right? He's got a personality. He's very very cheeky, and I want to talk about the airplane going over. I want to talk about the process, but I also want to kind of, because we are coaches in that, talk about how we can really help parents and that with a child with autism or any disability, but specifically for those with autism, because it can be a challenge. We've just come back from, I say, Butlins holiday, and we've had 7 days, and what was it, 4 days was amazing, and then the 3 days with my son, he just had enough. So we decided that next year we only going for 4 days, and but that those 4 days will be jam packed for my daughter, and that's the thing. It's how do we say organize and kind of manage, and I think this is what some parents find really hard to balance. And that's what I want to do. I want to help parents to not only balance their life and say family life, but also, what was it, their mindset. So what happens when say for example, my son is having a meltdown. Yeah, a meltdown is where basically they can't control what they are doing. It might be overstimulation, and that, and they, what was it, you try to give them what they want and it's like no. And they can, what was it, they can hurt themselves, they can hurt others, and that, and like afterwards they can feel really pants as well. So what, and in like our situation, sometimes that has had a huge like impact, like on myself, on my husband, people around us, and that, and it's how you deal with it. But a lot of new parents with a child with autism who may not know about, what was it, just being, trying to be calm and trying to, to leave them alone if they are in a safe place like their bedroom and that, because you can't do anything. You can't hug them because they will, likely to hurt you, and that. So this is what I want to bring to. I want to kind of change some of the ways that parents with their as a child think, because I've been into groups and that, and a lot of parents have got big fears about about their child and about their future and stuff, and that's had a huge impact like on their life and on their mental health and stuff like that. So I think depending on, for me, for example, that's where my coaching is going. It's going towards parents who have kind of, I say, fears and that, and trying to talk about that, because not enough people actually talk about things. They hide things under because they don't want to talk to their partners, they don't want to talk to professionals, they don't want to talk to social workers and professionals, because they are judgmental. They will give you advice, and some parents, they don't want advice on their parenting. They want someone to listen to them and to ask them questions so they can resolve things themselves. And this is where, like in the past, I haven't even thought about, but actually asking questions in like the autism groups on, I say, Facebook, it's really opened up my eyes, and I'm I'm thinking now that this is huge, and was it just one coach can't do it. I think this is going to be, and was it, a new niche, what was it, whereby coaches can really help those parents who've got children with autism or ADD or ADHD. Yeah, I know there's ADHD, what was it, coaches out there, but I'm talking really about the parents and that, and how they feel and how they can cope with all those emotions. Yeah, because emotions can, what was it, be really good, and other times it can be, they can be really bad. I've had times with my, especially my son Matthew, like the other day, for example, he was giving me the remote control all the time to change over every 10 seconds, and it just got to the point, the patience and that, my patience are up here. Yeah, because I've been working with people and that for 25 years, right? So I must have patience, like I say, but there's a limit. And I got, I say, fed up, but I just said to him in very simple words, called in his name first, Matthew, do it yourself. And he got my phone and he was following like through, and he done it himself. Now my son is not talking. I think there's a possibility that he will in the future, but as long as he can communicate, that's the most important thing to me. As long as he can communicate to me, that's the most important. So coaching people with autism, so coaching, what was it, a person with like autism and a learning disability can be slightly, I say, challenging. I was working with one lad. His kind of goal was to get a full-time job and stuff, but his mum and social worker and that didn't want him to get a full-time job, because it was going to be very hard for him, and I could understand that. So we went for part-time, but then the part-time hours was, there was all the kind of jobs that he could have done, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. And the reason it didn't work out is he was coming to the sessions, and we was working on like interview techniques and stuff like that, and it was all going really well. Unfortunately, was it kind of the jobs that he was applying for was just over what he really needed, and was it his parent was like, no, you can't do that because you lose your benefits, you lose this, blah blah blah. And so it was really hard to like coach someone who really wanted, to have, a job and stuff. And I find it really frustrating, and I found it really frustrating back then as well. And then you get, I had another client who parents ran me for coaching, and that was really, to do with social skills and it was to do with eye contact. And I said this lad, right, your parents have called me because about eye contact. Can you tell me, do you want adding sessions? And he went, well, actually, the reason I don't kind of talk to people and look at them is because I find it very painful to look at their eyes. And I went, right, so how do you want us to do this session? I said, do you want me to look at you, or shall we sit like sideways? And he said, sideways are fine. And do you know what? We had the most amazing coaching sessions. Yeah. I was using all the techniques and that, and he was absolutely fantastic. And in the end, it wasn't about the eye contact. That was the parents', kind of goal. And I had to tell them that, look, we're working on his social skills, yeah, but he's got a much more bigger goal, and that is relationships and that. And I said, it's told me it's painful. So how do you feel about that? And they went, oh, we didn't know. And they was really shocked. So I think sometimes, it's really important if you are coaching a person who parents are involved to kind of tell them as well, but always kind of like speak to the main client and that. But that's why I'm doing parent coaching, is because I think there's a lot of parents out there who really need that support to really offload, because they don't want to be judged by people. All they want is to offload in a safe place. My son done this week, and I felt like shit because I didn't understand what he was trying to say to me. He's bit me all down my arm this week. I shouted at him, and I feel bad. And it's like, parents have told me in Facebook groups that all they want is to offload, but they feel that if they kind of tell or shared this information with teachers or social workers and that they are going to be judged. So I think this is a great opportunity for us coaches to really dive deep and to help them, because as well as them offloading and stuff, we can really help them with their relationships with their child with autism, but also their marriage, and there's single parents out there, and that we can really help them with this, siblings as well. So yeah, and I can't wait to do it. I want to talk more, but this video is over 10 minutes, which I said I wouldn't do. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will, if you want to talk over Zoom or anything, then let me know. I'll be more than happy to. But yeah, I will see you later. Take care.